Under colonial education, black children have learned for many years that they should have admiration for the 16th President of the United States of America, Abraham Lincoln, the great emancipator, the great humanitarian, because he freed blacks in America. The question is, did Abraham Lincoln really free our ancestors? Was he truly interested in their human rights when writing the Emancipation Proclamation?
On the first day of January, in the year of our Lord, 1863, all persons held as slaves within any state or designated part of a state, the people whereof shall then be in rebellion against the United States, shall be then, thenceforward, and forever free.
One cannot talk about the Emancipation Proclamation without first talking about the event that produced it, the Civil War. It must be understood that the leaders of this cotton slave system dominated the South. Well, the entire nation, really. The White House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, the armed forces, and they made the foreign and domestic policies to keep it all in place. The Northerners founded a party, the Republican Party. This wealth system of the North was more industrial. They won the election, now taking control, and that sought to dominate and control the expansion of white power into the West. Because basically whoever could control this new expansion could control the Union. How could the North, that required their wealth a little differently, how could they accomplish that? Easily, by setting a policy to control whether or not these new territories could have slaves. No slaves would ensure the Union's domination. Allowing slaves could ensure the Confederacy domination. But both sides, the North and the South, brought up constitutional arguments concerning their rights to slavery. But beyond the jargon was two different wealth systems fighting for domination. A family feud. So to say that this war was anything about slavery, as in morally they cared? Again, it was two sides fighting for domination, which led to no other solution than to have an armed battle to the death. And this fight led to the threatening end of slavery. The South was determined to leave the Union and to form their own nation. So why then was the Emancipation Proclamation written? Lincoln's first priority was not enslaved Africans. His first priority was exactly what he stated.
I view the matter, the Emancipation Proclamation, as a practical war measure to be decided upon according to the advantages or disadvantages it may offer to the suppression of the rebellion.
Simply put, it was a strategic war tactic, anything he could do to stop the South from rebelling. Understand that the Emancipation Proclamation did not say that it would free all the slaves. It stated that any slave in rebel territory would be granted freedom. Even still, he couldn't force the Confederacy to follow his orders to free slaves, but it gave blacks a chance to uprise, many of which escaped to fight alongside the Union Army. So those slaves who did gain their freedom, they escaped a very oppressive slave system. They took the risk of being tortured, and they fought for their freedom. But please note, Abe Lincoln was reluctant to arm slaves to rise up against their masters and sabotage production, in fear that they'd fight an independent struggle, like the blacks in Haiti. But to have a chance at winning this war, they needed the enslaved Africans. But let's look at the Emancipation Proclamation even closer. How can we prove that this document wasn't about the moral need to be just to black people? It stated that it would free slaves only within rebel territory. So who did the Emancipation Proclamation not free? First of all, it didn't free slaves in their own territory. And it didn't free slaves owned by loyal slave owners within the rebel territory that sided with the Union. They were basically granted amnesty from the Emancipation Proclamation. So was Abraham Lincoln personally interested in our human rights? Or was he simply a politician interested in achieving his goal? On August 14, 1862, Abraham Lincoln invited free black ministers to the White House to have a conversation. Oh my God, does that sound familiar?
And I'm just encouraging the black Americans especially, because already there's a move of God. There's more people that are saying, I'm voting for Donald Trump. I'm not voting for the Republican, but I'm voting for Donald Trump.
Are we still inviting black ministers to help brainwash the rest? Abraham Lincoln did not hesitate to convince them of their inferiority when he candidly said the following.
I will say that I am not, nor ever have been, in favor of bringing about in any way the social and political equality of the white and black races. That I am not, nor never have been, in favor of making voters or jurors of Negroes, nor of qualifying them to hold office, nor to intermarry with white people. And I will say in addition to this that there is a physical difference between the white and black races, which I believe will forever forbid the two races living together on terms of social and political equality, and inasmuch they cannot so live, while they do remain together, there must be the position of superior and inferior, and I, as much as any other man, am in favor of having the superior position assigned to the white race.
We can't say that old Abe never told a lie, but we can say that he was very honest about how he felt about black people. Lincoln did not want an America where blacks and whites were living together.
Contrary to what most people think, Abraham Lincoln's deepest desire was to deport all black people and create an all-white nation.
The colony of Liberia has been in existence for a long time. In a certain sense, it is a success. The old president of Liberia, Roberts, has just been with me. The first time I ever saw him, he says they have within the bounds of that colony between 300,000 and 400,000 people, or more than in some of our old states, such as Rhode Island or Delaware, or in some of our newer states, and less than in some of our larger ones. They are not all American colonists or their descendants. Something less than 12,000 have been sent thither from this country. Many of the original settlers have died, yet, like people elsewhere, their offspring outnumbered those deceased.
Oh wait, there's more.
Our republican system was meant for a homogeneous people. As long as blacks continue to live with the whites, they constitute a threat to the national life. Family life may also collapse, and the increase of mixed breed bastards may someday challenge the supremacy of the white man.
The white people are playing for white genetic survival. And if you don't believe it, listen to their spokespersons. Who are their spokespersons? Nazis, Klan, those are just the outspoken people who are supporting white supremacy. And so they come out and tell you in clear language, but we want to just dismiss them. I say, don't dismiss them. Right. Listen to them. Read what it is that they are saying. They are talking about white genetic survival.
So the Civil War was not fought for slavery, and the Emancipation Proclamation did not free all the slaves, not even half. It was not a moral decision, yet a strategic war tactic to hold together an all-white government ran by white supremacy. And when you understand that, you understand that it was politics as usual.